I got an offer.
Snowing so much.
Hello everyone, welcome back to another vlog. Today is a very exciting vlog. Last time I saw you, I was preparing and like buying clothes for my second job interview. And did I intend to film that interview process again? Yes, I did. Did I film it? No. Of course, I got an offer. And I didn't film it. I got it last Wednesday, it's now Monday, and oh my gosh, everything has just changed. Like my whole routine has been overthrown, and there's a lot of planning to do because obviously the job isn't here, it's a few hours away, and we have been trying to find apartments, coordinating like apartment viewings and trying to get them all to be on 1 or 2 dates so that we don't have to drive up too many times. Yeah, it's all been a bit stressful. I'm not really good at handling overwhelm and stress, and I'm also very bad at filming stressful situations, so it's very hard for me to film when I'm nervous because of an interview or when I'm nervous while I'm job hunting. So yeah, today I also it's so hard to plan a vlog when I don't really know what's gonna happen. And so today, this morning, as you saw, we had a lot of calls and talked to some apartment thingies, and yeah, tomorrow we're actually gonna drive up and look at a few apartments. Luckily, we were able to get more than one apartment viewing in tomorrow because originally it was only one apartment that we were gonna see. So I'm really happy that we're gonna see a few more, and then on Thursday we're gonna look at a few more, and hopefully by the end of this week we will have an apartment. Everything is going really fast because at the start of March I'm already starting my new job. It's all been crazy. I had around 4 jobs that I applied to that were absolute dream positions that I really wanted to be in, and I got rejected for 3 of them, and then they were the last ones to write me and actually invite me to an interview. And for some reason I just had a really good feeling right away because this job literally combines everything that I love and that I'm good at. It combines nature conservation with social media, and also I have a teaching background as well. So it combines all of these things. At least looking from the outside, of course, we have to see whether everything, stays like this as soon as I start. But I have a really good feeling with this job, and the city there, it's honestly perfect for us. It's not too big, it's not too small. It's bigger than where we are now because we are kind of craving more of a city, and it looks beautiful. We spent a day there already for the interview, and it's also closer to the sea, so really excited to start this new chapter. It's just really overwhelming that everything in my life is gonna change in the next month. I'm so lucky that I have my family, my husband, my cat, and we're gonna stick together, do this together, and honestly without them I don't know if I could even manage. And yeah, the interview was positive. They actually replied on the same day. I got a message saying that they were curious about my social media channels, and then the next day I got the confirmation. So it was just very much a mutual positive feeling, and it's also a very flexible job, and it's not a 9 to 5. It's just everything I wanted. So I hope, fingers crossed, that everything goes well and that I like to work there. But I'm really happy right now. It it truly feels like everything that I wished for and that I studied so hard for is coming true. So really excited about this next chapter, whatever it is gonna bring. One thing I also want to share with you guys that you are probably interested in is my job hunting stats. How did everything go? It feels like it hasn't been too long, especially for you. Like, I feel like you've seen 3 job hunting vlogs and now it's already over. And honestly, it did go quicker than I thought. When I first got my first few rejections and I read some of the experiences of other people, I really thought that I was gonna be here till like June or July, something like that. But I was lucky to get a job after 2 months. Okay, let's go over everything. I've written 27 job applications, and I work in nature conservation, or I studied nature conservation, and so it's a pretty niche area or economy, so there isn't a lot of job offerings. And I applied all over Germany. If I would have looked only close to me, it probably would have taken much longer. I organized everything in my Notion, and out of the 27 applications that I wrote, I got 13 rejections, so 41.9%. No answers to 13 of them. For most of these, that is also due to the time frame in which they allow applications to be sent in is pretty long in nature conservation, so a lot of these are still like not sending out answers, so I am expecting more answers to come soon. But so far 13 have sent me no answers, but that's already 26. How's that possible? 13 rejections, so 46%, and 10 haven't replied so far. Now it makes more sense. And 3 have invited me to an interview so far. I only went to 2 interviews. The other invitation came after I had already signed 1 offer. And there was another one that put me into their like phase 2. So yeah, there you have it. Most of them were rejections, around 10%, a little bit more than that. I was invited to interviews, and I still have no answer to 35%. That's my stats so far. I don't know if that's good or bad, but honestly, I'm happy with how it went and how it turned out, and I think I've learned so much over the past 2 months, and I definitely know a lot more now for the next time I'm ever gonna look for a job. And now for the rest of the month, I will start preparing a little bit for the job and obviously look for apartments. And so yeah, everything kind of worked out in the end, which I'm really happy about and really excited for this next chapter of my life. Absolutely crazy today. I have mascara under my eyes. I'm sorry guys, it's been a week. A little update. It was pretty late. I don't even know if I filmed anything yesterday anymore. It was pretty late when we came back home, and then I just took a bath and we relaxed for the rest of the evening because today was a lot. Yesterday was a lot. And we ended up looking at 4 apartments, and they were all nice. but none of them was perfect or had like everything we wanted or was just a bit too expensive. The first one we looked at, it was the most expensive one out of all of them. It was a nice apartment, don't get me wrong, but it just seemed very badly renovated. It seemed like they wanted to save the costs. And you know, my parents are avid renovators. They pretty much did all of the apartments we ever lived in by themselves, and they always did such a good job. So I kind of noticed that the floor, for example, it wasn't evenly laid out, and it was in an old building, but all of the charm of the old building was just painted over with white. And I don't know, there were a lot of things that I noticed, and the kitchen also looked very cheap, and I still think from the outside the apartment is wonderful, but for the price I was just a bit disappointed. The more I think about it, the more I realize that none of them kind of fit really well, but there were 2 apartments that I did like. The second one, it was a huge apartment. It had beautiful light flooring and huge rooms, so definitely bigger than our apartment right now, but it didn't have a balcony, which was very sad. But everywhere you looked out of the windows, it was really, really beautiful, and had the most parking spaces out of all of them in front, so I think parking wouldn't be as much of a problem there, and also close to work, so that one I think we will definitely apply to, even though it doesn't have a balcony. That's just something I would have to live with for now. And then the last one we looked at, I wasn't able to film because they didn't want me to film because they were renovating it currently. That one was gorgeous. They really did it in a very modern way, so had like a beautiful rain shower and a big bathtub and beautiful floors and a new kitchen, which is amazing because most of German apartments don't have kitchens, which sucks. That's like an additional cost that we would have to add to everything. And that one was beautiful. I really loved that one, but also the parking situation sucked, and I'm not sure if we are able to move in by March because it's still in the renovating process. So yeah, we're kind of disappointed. It was a lot yesterday. Like, we drove around 7 hours yesterday, and on the way home it was not only snowy and the streets were blocked kind of, it also ended up being foggy and dark, and yeah, it was just a lot. It was a day. And because we are searching for an apartment under like a time frame that's kind of, you know, it's not a lot of time to find an apartment in Germany, like a month, and also to move in that month. It's all kind of a lot, so we're a bit under the weather right now. We're dealing with a lot and we're feeling a bit anxious about all of this. But yeah, today is a little bit of a break from that. We are spending the day at home, and later today we are actually going to go see a candlelight concert. My mom gifted us 2 tickets to one close to us for a Coldplay candlelight concert, so I'm really excited to see that. Just take a little break, and then on Thursday we're gonna continue with the apartment hunting and hopefully just find a place on Thursday. It's just very stressful, and there's this uncertainty, you know, because I have to start in the beginning of March, and there's this pressure to find a good apartment until then and to move until then, and there's so much to do, and I don't really know how to do all of this in such a short amount of time, and it's kind of stressing me out, making me a bit anxious, and especially because German apartments literally come empty. We would have to, you know, get a kitchen and everything, and it's just a lot. And with my parents not living here, my parents lives 4 hours away from me. there's also no one really to help us with all of this. We're just alone. So yeah, it's just all a lot. And obviously, like, it would be nice to just focus on my job, my new job, and just feel excited about that. But there's this stress now with apartment hunting that's just kind of overshadowing the excitement. I made it right on time to upload my video and finish it. And now we really need to get ready. Can you hear him? He's the cutest. He just woke up from a nap and then he always needs to be on my shoulder. But we don't have a lot of time now, so... Tonight I really just want to relax and take a little break from how we've been feeling the past week. My husband and I tend to overthink. We are notorious overthinkers. And the combination of, like, my anxiety, his overwhelm, it's and our combined worries, it gets a lot sometimes. And tonight I just really want to feel happy, and that's why I'm also getting a little dressed up. And I really don't want our emotions and feelings, I don't want them to distract from tonight and everything that we have and how lucky we are. And even though it was a coincidence, it's really nice that we have this concert tonight to just be able to wind down and do this for ourselves without everything going on in the background. I'm also really excited to see that concert. I've been thinking about going to a candlelight concert because I've seen them all over social media. And especially, like, with everything going on in the world right now, can be so hard to be positive and, like, move forward, or even now with my job hunting and everything, to feel like all of this still makes sense, because granted, it doesn't really. Everything feels minuscule in comparison to what's happening, but it's like, it's the art, it's the dance, it's the humanity that a lot of us still carry that makes it worth fighting for. So I'm trying not to give in to despair or the feelings of, I can't change anything, and, continue with my life and raising my voice and celebrating life, because there is still so much to celebrate.